compelled again to say some things. I always say that I don't look like what I've been through, thank God. And I always say that I have a trauma story that'll make your head roll off. Excuse me, I was just eating. And I'll be telling the whole story very soon, and it will make like people's heads fall off, but not for the reasons you think. It is some straight up Miss Hannigan type fuckery. However, it is a lot about, like, I'm laughing, but it's really not funny. It's one of them I had to laugh to keep from crying situations, but it's a lot of violations. A lot of like people just habitual line stepping, violating my body, my mind, my personal space, my home, a lot of things. And you know, the hardest thing for me has been looking at people that I love, that I would have held down, that I would have done anything for, and seeing them for who they really are, and knowing their intentions towards me, their real intentions towards me, the nasty things that they say about me, all of it. And guess what I've done? Guess what I've done? Healed, smiled, been happy. I always say the A is for amazing and the R is for real. And over the summer, I added authentic. I'm going to be my full authentic self. I had two sides of my personality. One is just nice and smart and cheerful and polite and respectful. And the other side is the complete opposite of that. The complete, total opposite of it. And that stemmed from these traumatic events that never were discussed or addressed, but people had full knowledge of, other than me. So I say all of that to say this. I always wanted to be a lawyer my whole life. When I was 19 and started taking more of my electives in college, I was like, no, I'm going to do some form of social work. We didn't have a major. We only had a minor. My major was political science. My minor was political communication, which is basically all the stuff we see now play out with how the media can influence politics and how public opinion sways things, right? And so I changed my minor to social work. And so that was that, right? I graduated from college and then I got in the field. I had a bachelor's degree and I was making minimum wage and I was fine with that. I like really started from the bottom and I worked my way up. And even though I didn't think I was going there, this is where I'm going now. Because I was just talking to my friend about representation, about getting people of color to really engage in self-care, to try different things that they may not typically even think would be helpful or beneficial, but like learning about different forms of healing, and remembering who we are as people, like the things that we have overcome. So there's a lot. Like, I'm in a really like transformative place. And when I tell you I give zero fucks, zero. So I've really learned how to balance the two sides. Because it was either I was really super duper nice or I just didn't give a fuck. And there's no other way to say it, like zero. So what? I said it. So what? I did it. I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to make it right. You going to stay, you going to go, and I'm going to be all right regardless. And I was really in that energy for a long time. And really, again, it's just a trauma response. It's just the lack of healing, the lack of addressing, the lack of identifying. Like, I wouldn't even say that these things happen. I really convinced myself that my body wasn't violated. And the one time that like bothered me, like the first time that bothered me, I told myself it was my fault. Then the second time, I knew it wasn't my fault because I was asleep and somebody woke me up to, you know, this assault, and it was an adult. And now I know that's not my fault. You know what I mean? That's the one that really like took me out. I remember being 15 years old and saying I'm not gonna be a nice person anymore because being nice didn't get me anywhere. And I became nice. Where I messed up was I wasn't being nice to the right people. Lesson learned. I was just talking to one of my clients and I was saying, when I was a kid, it was the stranger in the van supposedly that you had to look out for. But now it's not the stranger in the van. It's the pastor. It's the best friend. It's the coworker. It's your supervisor. It's your parents. These are the snakes. These are the venomous, demon-like people that will do anything to feel important because they're unhealed. And I'm blessed because I truly realized that I was raised without love, around people who just did not like me because I just was being myself. That's it. That's all I ever wanted to be, was myself. And people feel the need to bother me about that. And I let them. I remember, again, the time frame of falling into people's negative thoughts about me and letting them define who I am. And I stuck with that for a long time. I did my own light. Like, I really am amazing because I'm an amazing person, because I have the ability to think logically about awful, traumatic, tragic shit and still find a way to heal without letting it change who I am, without letting it make me this nasty, vile person that I didn't like. And being authentic, I'm going to be me. I curse. Downfall of working with kids for 22 years. They got a lot from me. I got a potty mouth from them. I feel it's an even trade. I drink. I smoke weed. I'm a grown woman. I handle my business. I take care of my daughter. I worked 2 jobs for the last 13 years. Worked 2 jobs while I was pregnant. Was at work on a Sunday and went in the hospital on Monday. And I was at work on Sunday at a Monday through Friday job because one of the kids was being discharged from the home that I worked at. People are going to tell you who you are. They're going to try to make you who they want you to be. They're going to go run their mouths to idiots who don't fact check and tell them their narrative of you. And you need to still live. You need to still learn, and you need to go forward, and you need to realize that that's what unhealed people do. They project, they transfer. I realized a long time ago that the shit that was bogging me down, it wasn't being a single mother. It wasn't almost dying giving birth to my baby. It wasn't the hardships of being a black woman. The things that really should piss me off and like bog me down never did. It was me worrying about other people. It was me taking on their stuff. And now I know that they was putting it on me on purpose, because they saw who I was when I couldn't see it. Be yourself, love yourself, and fuck who don't like it, because odds are they're not doing better than you. These people, like, the level of delusion is scary. And where I struggle, and I'm just be transparent and vulnerable, because it just got a lot in my mind. But where I struggle is when you are old enough to know that these things are maladaptive things, these things don't serve you, these things continue to put you in the same situation, even if it was with different people, different words. Themes are always the same, universal. You have to look at the common denominator, which is you. At what point do you hold yourself accountable for your actual part in it? No, it's not your fault if you got abused. No, it's not your fault if you got neglected. No, it's not your fault if the adults in your life fucking sucked and didn't do what they were supposed to do by you. However, as you become an adult and you become aware of things in the world, yes, it is absolutely your responsibility to heal. No, you shouldn't be exposed to these things at an early age, but because you were, you should have some understanding of what you don't want in life. You should look at the people around you, their lack of healing, their lack of awareness. They're so rigid, they're so stubborn, they're so controlling but can't control themselves or their lives. Don't even have their lives together, doing way worse than anything they're accusing you of, whether it's true or not. Once you start to see things for what they are, you untouchable, baby. The benefit of healing for me, do you hear this clarity? Do you hear how I'm just spitting? This is just where I am, because my head and my heart, they in sync. They work like this. I posted something on my Facebook the other day. Might have been yesterday. You may know the Bible from cover to cover, but baby, I know God. When I tell you God done showed up and showed out for me, by protecting me, by keeping me safe, by reminding me of who I am, and pushing that I need to be my authentic self. And that it's okay for me to say, fuck who don't like it. So I'm Amber Nicole, but I'll never forget Nikki. Because Nikki kept me safe. That's my sass, that's my spice, that's the dark side of me, that's my shadow self, and I embrace her wholeheartedly. People hate on me, but the only thing that I ever been focused on was healing. Raising a different family than the one I came from. That's really bothering me, I'm sorry. And leaving a legacy for my child. That's it. That's really it. You can see the genuineness in my face. You can hear the passion in my voice. People are fake and they're phony, and they're surrounding themselves with other fake and phony people. So when they meet a real bitch like me, they do not know what to do. I have been so humble. I have really minimized my power. And I let other people do it too. And I'm just not doing it anymore. So the takeaway from this 12-minute video is be yourself. Heal from the things that hurt you so that you can have the life that you deserve. And unfortunately, for most of us, we came from shitty beginnings and we've had to create the life that we always deserved. Stop focusing on things. Material things don't matter. Fake ass people don't matter. You fill your heart with love, and you got to start by loving yourself first. Forgive yourself for the things you did when you weren't healed, when you weren't addressing the shit that needed to be addressed. Get your ass out there, get in the field, and heal however you see fit. If you don't feel comfortable going to a therapist, constantly I would hear, do you go to therapy? Do you go to therapy? I don't. I'm just a really good therapist, and I heal myself. That's what God put me here for, to be a healer. And that's the beginning. Look, full circle. The reason I started the story was happenstance approach and vocational counseling. You learn about the happenstance approach. So no matter, I'm just excited, y'all. Excuse me, tongue tied now. No matter where you start your career, you're gonna end up where you should be. No matter where you start, you're going to end up where you should be, where you always, like, where you long to be, where you should have been. And that's what happened to me. I never planned on being a therapist. I never thought that I would do it. Never had any desire, no anything. But it's because that's what God wants for me. I'm supposed to be doing this. I help kids every day. I don't judge people. I gather them together when they come for me, when they're disrespectful to me, when they don't respect me or my boundaries. But I'm a sweetheart. And being sensitive is a superpower. Being vulnerable is a superpower. Holding yourself accountable is a superpower. Stop letting people who do not have anything going and don't have themselves together in the fucking least bit tell you who you should be, how you should be, and stop letting them mix in and be messy in your fucking life. When you know they trash, when you know that you have talked to them and you told them, stop giving them the benefit of the doubt. Cut those people off. Forgive them. Don't have any hate in your heart, animosity in your heart. Understand why they are how they are. Process it. Heal as best you can and move on so you can have the life you deserve. Make the choices.